Good afternoon, and welcome to Conversations in the Den. Today, I'd like to welcome our lovely guest, Louise Noel-Ambrose of Event Planning. Um, we're here to discuss with Louise how she learned she had a brain tumor. Louise, can you tell us your story?
Hello,
Looks like you can
everyone.
share your
Thank you
story
for
with us. Can you hear
certainly
me?
I can. Yes, I can. Thank you
Okay, go
for the
ahead.
opportunity. Thank you for
Great.
the opportunity to
Oh, no, you're welcome.
sharing my story
Absolutely.
with you. Um, Early December
Okay.
night, just before going to bed, um, my son said, I felt that my mouth, the left side of my mouth felt odd.
Okay.
And I just had peanut butter. And I said, but, oh, I'm not allergic to peanut butter.
Right.
And my son, who is allergic to peanut butter, said, no, you're not, Mom. He said, but yeah. I said, Hassan, I feel odd, my thing. And I left it like that and I went to bed.
Right.
Got up the next morning and continue my day, do what I normally would do.
Right.
Went to meetings as norm, doing what I do.
Yes.
And my son came back in the afternoon and go, Mom, your face is twisted. I go, what do you mean it's twisted? Oh yeah, Mom, it is. It's different. And I'm thinking,
Okay.
nah. So I looked because this is the first time. Now keep in mind, I've been home all day. I went, took my shower, brushed my teeth, but I'm not looking at myself,
Right. You're not in front of
It's
the
until
mirror.
he came home. And I said, oh, I'm not sure. And then what I call the Caribbean check. And I go, oh, I can feel it's okay. I'm alive. Nothing hurts, nothing broken.
Right.
I'm
Yes.
good. God is in control. And that's what I said. And I went to bed.
Okay.
And then the next day, it got worse. And my older son said, Mom, we're going to the emergency right now, okay? Now. And I said, okay, but I'm good. But went to my doctor. They all looked at me and they were panicking. And I go, what you guys are panicking for? God is in control, I'm good. But to make a long story short, my doctor then called the ambulance. They came and they checked me in. Now they thought it was a stroke.
Okay.
Because
Yes, that is a symptom of stroke.
yes,
So
so
yes, I understand.
in the past, if you look for photos of me online in December, you will definitely see my face, the movement, the nerves, everything just went left.
Okay.
And so while they're making sure all is well, I got a run through
So
from
you're
head to
now in the
toe.
hospital.
I'm in the hospital, and they said we got to a CTC scan. I said, okay, great. I waited on the result. The doctor came back. I do believe it was Dr. Andrew. He was a very nice gentleman, calm. And he go, Louise, it's not a stroke. But the
Oh.
good news is that you're in the right place and it can be dealt with.
Yes.
I said, great, God is in control. I'm not thinking that he will say, he said, it's not a stroke. We do believe it's Bell palsy. I said, okay. And if anybody could look it up, doesn't know what it is about. It's about the nerve and the muscles. And it's so I said, okay, great. So why am I in the right place now? He said, you have a tumor in your pituitary gland.
Okay, so you had a CAT scan, and that's
they
where
did
you discovered this?
a CT scan, yes, they did that. Scan, yes. And that's when they found out that I had a tumor. And that tumor was I was also having issues with my eye. So that
Okay.
tumor was pushing onto my optic nerve, which
Okay.
then
Yes.
damaged the top. In this vicinity here, I'm not seeing clearly. It's improving after the surgery,
So
glory to God.
was your vision affected as well at that time?
Well, I have to slightly, yes.
Oh, okay.
However, after while on vacation during the holidays, I could not see anything at all in the left eye.
Wow.
And then I went back in, so they thought no, the tumor was just blocking the optic nerves,
Now, did they tell
henceforth.
you the size of this tumor?
Oh, guess what? I forgot to ask the size because I'm just thinking it's not for me to worry about. What's in my head is God alone to deal with it. I'm just moving forward.
Okay.
So I was told it was the size, the circumference of my finger. I
Okay.
forgot to ask what it is in 3D dimension. And I only found out what it was in terms of the size in 3D when my son's girlfriend, who was with me, who happens to um, taking architect because that's how they think 3D. And she said, well, can you tell me what is that in 3D? What's the size? And that's when the surgeon said the size of a clementine. And I turned to her and I go, what is the heck that is doing in my brain that size?
Okay, so how far back? So give me a description, like you can point on your head, like about where the tumor was.
The tumor, the pituitary gland is in the middle of one's behind the eye sockets, so it's in the
Okay.
back. It's so when people Google pituitary gland, that's where it is. So
Okay.
when they had to do surgery, not knowing if it was cancerous or not, and
Right, of
really
course. Hmm.
the size,
Yes, they
they
need to
were
find out if it's malignant or benign. Hmm.
exactly. So what they needed to, they were not sure at the time how they will get it out, whether they had to open from left to right or above the eye, go through the eye or through the
Oh, okay.
nostrils. For me, they went through the nostrils.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So what did they do then? Drain it?
They went in through the technology and God-given talent of having a team around me that knew
Okay,
what they
so
were
did they do
doing.
a laser? Like I'm just curious as to how they removed the tumor.
They
Did they
went through up the
laser it?
nostril. They just went up
So
through the
they
nostril.
pulled it through your nostrils?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because remember the air, nose, and throat are all connected.
Yeah, no, I understand that. So
Right.
it was not hard. It wasn't a solid tumor. It was soft enough that they could pull it through your nostril.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's what I understood it to be. I didn't ask much
Yeah, because
questions.
you don't have extra large nostrils or anything. So I'm just like, you know.
Honey, I I just leave that up to them and the Almighty God. And our body is created in such a way that when it needs to be repaired by individual who has been given the talent to make us whole through the grace of God, it gets done. Because I never knew the length from here, because when I had to get the stent removed now, which they had placed in
Oh,
in
okay.
my
So
nose,
they had to widen your nostril with a stent.
yes.
Oh,
And then when they were removing it, and then had to go back in and put antibiotics, I knew the length of the what's the there's a name for the cloth that they put in, but it has the anti what's the word, antiseptic. You put it in,
okay.
and it was as long as I think is as long as my arm, and I'm thinking that's how far it is. So I'm not sure the individuals right now who's going through that COVID test, they will tell you it's
Yes.
way, way, way back. It goes,
Yes.
the
I've
past
heard
stage
that's very
is
uncomfortable.
right. So that's what I had to go through when removing it. So that's how I found out that I had tumor. All
Okay.
because
Okay, so once
yes,
okay, so once the tumor was removed, then what was the next process?
the tumor was removed, and the next day I went home. I was well
Oh,
rested. Yes, I was well
wow.
rested. I felt great. The blood work was, because my mindset is, when I found out what it is, I knew it had nothing. I had no control. So you have to go to the being that's in control, and that's where I stepped in faith.
Yes, I understand. Okay, so
Yes,
once the tumor now is removed, they test it? They now test it to see if it's benign or
they
malignant.
have to now test it to
Yes,
see whether or not it was cancerous or not. It was not. However, they
absolutely.
still, being that it was a brain surgery, I am have to continuous do blood tests, blood work, and CTC scan. So 6 weeks after the surgery, they went in to see how it looked. It looked good.
Okay.
And this coming Saturday is my next scheduled CTC scan.
Oh, okay. So you have to
Yes.
get regular CT scans now.
Well, I do believe after this one, the next one, maybe in 6 months, I'll be more than happy to tell you. I'm just going,
Yes,
following the
you're following
instructions
the
of the
process. Yes.
specialist. Yes. But the mandate that was given to me is putting my wellness first, putting myself first,
Yes.
um, and being healthier as well.
Well, that's what these
More
things
walking,
teach us.
yes.
These things teach us to take care of self. We're so
Oh,
busy,
definitely.
especially as mothers, we're taking care of our children, we're taking care of if we have husbands, we're taking care of our
Yeah.
home, and we
And
don't
the
tend to
community.
put ourselves first.
And not forgetting the community. We give
Yes.
so much of the community, and we don't, when we have a headache or something aches us, oh, so, we may, rub it and then,
Or take
rest
a
for a bit and
pill and then go
continue.
on with, keep continue on. Yes.
Yeah, and we're not going to check it out. We
Yes.
need, as women, especially, I would say women of color, when something aches, go check it out. It
Yeah, we
doesn't
don't
hurt.
have a
It's
tendency
there.
to
We
do that.
have,
Most times we have some kind of remedy, and I don't know for people who are not from the Caribbean. I'm from the Caribbean, and believe me, they have a remedy for everything.
they do, we do.
They will
So
give you
hence
every
for me
herbal
the
remedy.
delay.
Like my father always laughs and makes a joke. My mother's last name is Spencer, and so
Yes.
he always says all the Spencer family are doctors. Because every time if I call my mom, she might call her brother who lives in Belgium,
Yes.
and he will give a remedy, and then he calls my uncle in Markham, and then he
Mhm.
gives a remedy, and by the time I'm done, I've got 6 herbal remedies for
Mhm.
how to take care of whatever is going on.
We give, but the herbal medicines do work, but
Oh, absolutely.
they do work. But
Yes. It depends on.
in this day and technology and all the extra toxins that's out there, it is best that we go see a
Oh, yes. See
specialist.
the physician and let them check you out. Yes.
Exactly. That's what we are in a country. We have OHIP. We need to take advantage of it sooner than the later, because it's all about our health, our well-being, our
Yes.
families, our loved ones.
Yes.
Yes,
And even our friends are affected. Everybody around us is affected when something happens to us.
exactly. Yes,
The people
yes,
who are involved in the community are affected. We have
indeed.
to make sure that we're always doing, um, self care. And we don't do
Uh,
that. It's not our
yes,
natural tendency. We will take care of everybody around us. But
but
self care does not necessarily count on top of the priority list, and it needs to. It really
Yes.
does need to.
Well, I have certainly learned that, and I'm now I have now become my own client in terms of self-care. Because if
Wonderful.
I don't do it, nobody else will do it, not my
Yes.
children or my husband. They are there to encourage and to,
Support.
to motivate me. But
Yeah.
if I don't do it myself, take that step, then
Oh, absolutely.
yeah. And we all have to
It's
do
an
that as
expectation.
women.
It's an expectation that we do all these things, and
Yes,
we have to remember that we have to come first. And if we
yes,
always put ourselves second, nobody else will ever put us first.
indeed.
And that is what I learned.
Yes,
Well, I'm very, 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 very thankful that you are doing well. I am very thankful, and thank you very much for sharing your story with us. Hopefully, it will help someone else who goes through a process similar to yours.
yes,
But thank you very much for being here today. I really appreciate it. And to our audience, I hope you all stay safe, stay very self-aware. Make sure that you take care of your body in the
yes.
environment we're in with this pandemic, especially. Take care of yourselves. Be well. And we will see you next week on Conversations in the Den, where we will be speaking with Tanya Reed, who lives with fibromyalgia. Thank you
Ah,
very much, Louise,
yes.
and I
Thank you
wish you
again.
all the best.
Thank you again for the opportunity.
Oh, you're
And to
welcome, man.
women out there, your well being comes first, because
Yes.
if